All righty, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the August 11th, 2026 meeting of the Board of Directors for Clover Garden School. Can we have the role and mission, Ms. Verakin, please?
Will the board, we are entrusted to care for the current school and stay focused on the vision for the future school. No trust, no unity, no progress. Vision of Clover Garden School will foster community, generate enthusiasm, challenge students academically, and produce accessible citizens.
All right, let's call this meeting to order at 6:31 p.m. Sorry, Ms. Okay, thank you, Ms. Verakin. Has everyone had a chance to review the agenda for tonight's meeting? All right, any changes or updates? No. All righty, do I have a motion to approve the agenda for this evening's meeting? Mr. Young and Ms. Gould, all in favor? Thank you. All righty, everyone's had a chance to review the minutes for the July 14th, 2026 meeting. Are there any questions? Would someone like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the July 14th meeting? Ms. Lane, second. Ms. Dickerson, all in favor? Thank you. All righty, do we have any public comment from our stakeholders? We're moving right along. Let's see, academics. Ms. Verakin, a director's update, please.
So just a quick update. We're busy. Very busy. It has really, we have kicked the school year off. It has been really exciting to have the kids back in the building and the teachers back in the building, and we're running them out a minute. So if you want to come check us out at any time, we will welcome you with open arms and probably put you to work. This thing really kind of moving and shaking right now is the beginning of the school year. And so those first 20 days. And so I want to shout out our families, everybody that made it a priority to be here on day one. That matters. And each day after that. So I want to say thank you. We had several that were like, we've got trips planned, etc. But they really did try to show up on day one. So that really will help us in the long run. So that's been big. We've had some moving and shaking with our numbers. So we're very, very close. We're about 10 kids away from our goal for the year. So as long as we can maintain where we're at and what we have, we're still working off the waiting list a little bit. There's a couple of openings still at our K-5 campus or the K-5 area. Middle school's kind of maxed out right now, but we are filling a couple more spots with our littles. So it's still, we're close. We're getting there. So our kind of target date is the 21st, which is next Friday. So, we have one more week until the academic break. So we are hoping and doing all the things to try to make that's it, so we really want to be where we want to be by the academic break. So we're close, we're getting there. I want to shout out our registrar, who's amazing. Ms. Walker is inundated right now between enrollments, schedule changes, all the things, and she has, kept her head above water. So she has done a fantastic job. Other things I just wanted to remind everybody about was every week we send out a weekly newsletter on the weekends. We send it out via email and we put it on Facebook. I would recommend reading that, looking through that. Cool little function this year has a table of contents. So I took the feedback of I can't find anything because it's so long, and so I put a table of contents in there. So hopefully you'll be able to go to the section quickly that you need, and that'll kind of eliminate hopefully some frustration. But again, it is a K-12 newsletter because we want to, connect all of our families. And so I would really recommend looking at those and trying to peruse those on the weekends just to stay in the loop of all of the things that are happening. The save the date section at the beginning is pretty important. And as events get finalized on our calendar, I'll update that every week. So I would definitely check on those sections. Every week I update the testing section, the high school section, the K-8 section, and then we've started implementing a staff of the week. We just wanted to shout out our faculty and staff. So we'll be doing that every week from one of the campuses. And so that's kind of been exciting to kind of shout those guys out so you can see, what they're doing every day. So, but yeah, so kids are getting in the routine. So it's been a really good start. And Perfect. Shout out to our admin team over here for holding it down. I've told Ms. Long there's no takebacks. So again, thank you, Ms. Long and Mr. Kane and Morris, and of course our crew that's not with us tonight.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Stand right back up, Ms. Verakin. We're going to move into old business and the safety plan.
So No major updates with that yet. We did already have, Lieutenant Hall come out, during the first week of school, with Alamance County Sheriff's Department and did some critical response training with our staff. So that's been awesome. We actually have a new SRO. He has visited us before, but his name is Deputy Bennett. And so I'll try to introduce him to our families, now that he's official and he's our SRO. So he's been great. I was taking pictures of him the other day. He doesn't even know it, but he was working with kids and they have Pokemon cards and he was over there like talking about the cards. And so I snapped a photo of him. So he's doing a great job of getting to know our kids. And just building relationships. So again, Alamance County Sheriff's Department's been really good to work with. And anytime he's not here or he's doing training, they always have a replacement come in. So we've met a couple of different SROs this past week in the first week of school. So, but anyway, so Mr. Bennett is immersing himself into our culture and our climate. And then there's some training coming up. We're working on safety plans now. Just kind of being prepared for the new year, but I'll shout out the admin staff. They've updated maps and all the things to kind of get ready for fire drills. We had an unexpected fire drill yesterday that we got to practice real quick, fast, and in a hurry. But it was a good opportunity to learn from. So I think we learned a lot. But again, always practice some safety.
Thank you. Next on the agenda for old business, a cleaner classrooms review and action plan. Ms. Simmons, do you have anything? Table it again. Yes, ma'am. No worries. Okay, and that leads us into governance and the committee updates. The governance committee does not have updates at this time. Mr. Young, do you have finance updates?
We had our meeting last week and I'll touch on some things in closed
Okay.
session.
Perfect. Academics, Ms. Gould, have you guys met yet? No, it's the beginning of the year. All righty. And for long range planning, I am proud to let everyone know that the certificate of occupancy was issued for our multi-purpose building and it is being utilized as we speak. So we'll move right along to the new business. Dr. Morris, we have more code of conduct updates.
They're very minimal.
I have a permanent spot on our agenda, but that's okay.
So there was a section that is in our code of conduct and it talks about discipline of students with disability. I did not highlight this one in orange because it's the same information. They just reorganized it into different headings.
Okay.
What you would notice that is different from the one that we approved earlier in the summer is the exclusion little paragraph, FBAs and VIP. Those are now embedded in the other sections. So it is the same information. It still follows the state policy governing students with disabilities, but that was the update that we did is just adopt their new organization of the information.
Okay. Do we require a vote on that update if it's the same information, but just reorganized? I wouldn't, I didn't think there would be a vote on that. All right, perfect. Yep, thank you so much. Alrighty, moving right along. Mental health plan, Ms. Barakin?
So I have to table this until next month.
Okay.
But I did go ahead and drop in there the version that we're working off of, so I'll flop that one out. So if you go through there, there's a couple documents in there that we are still working on, now that everybody's back in the building. So those are due in September. And so, what I'd like I said, if you guys have the feedback, you want to give it to us, that's great. So we do still have our, mental health therapists, our counselors, they are still, we're still contracted with them and they've been busy, coming back from the school year starting, but anywho, that is a state requirement that we have to submit every year. So, and so, I again, just put it in there. If you have any comments or anything, shoot it to me. But I will bring a more finalized copy. Like I said, there'll probably be very minimal changes in there. I've already kind of made some changes in there, but, I'll bring it with the notes for the next meeting.
Perfect, thank you. Parent, family engagement and student compact, Ms. Barakin.
Yeah, so that was one that I had sent, for review. It is a Title I requirement. So I just would like the board, to review it. If they have any questions or anything, of course, we're glad to answer that.
Does this require a vote? Okay. A vote that it's been reviewed. Yes, okay, I remember now. Was everyone able to look in the folder and review the Title I? Alrighty,
Yes.
okay. Do I have a motion to file the Title I as presented? Mr. Young, second, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
Or,
just to
To re-
approve, yeah.
yeah, approve the review of the Title I. Thank you, Ms. Simmons.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Mr. Young, Ms. Gould, second, all in favor? Thank you. All righty. And then next we have the Parent Guide to Student Achievement.
That's one I want to table too, because that one I still have to meet with like our leadership team, the school improvement team. So I put the old one in there from last year. We posted those on the website too, part of legislation requirements a couple of years ago. But there's a bunch of links that are old. And so truth and transparency, the meat and potatoes won't change a whole lot, but some of those links need to be updated with the new documents from this school year. And I just want some more feedback from our staff, on that as well. So again, you can kind of peruse through that. And then if there are any questions or suggestions, let me know.
Okay, perfect. The testing plan, Ms. Farragon.
So I'm gonna turn that over to the lovely Ms. Ginter. For those who don't know her, she is our district testing coordinator. So she oversees all of our testing materials and we test a lot. So we do, and it seems to be more. So she is here that I can kind of give you some updates. She kind of oversees two other folks that are school testing coordinators. So she works hand in hand with Ms. Weed and Ms. Wilson to make sure that everything is done with fidelity. And we have increased some of our testing this year just to kind of keep our pulse check on some of our academics as we're going throughout the school year. And so this is just for info only, but she would just like to kind of give you updates on our testing world and what that looks like this year.
Yes, thank you. My name is Tanya Ginter. I don't oversee Weed and Wilson. Well, do not do that.
She did, but that's fine.
In writing, it might look as if I do, but I so don't. If they are the bomb, it also.
I would say it's huge job. Everyone knows that is a huge.
Everybody wants to do testing. The testing calendar, it's almost complete. We are only waiting on AP exam information and CTE exam. We just need a list of students so that we can plug those in. The calendar is on the website. Ms. Taylor has put that on there. She's updated it only once so far. But every time it gets updated, I do report to her and she updates the website. We are adding back all check-ins for the middle school this year. And we're hoping for good feedback from that. Last year, we decided to move all of that for a little bit, but we found that we did need it. It is important. If you have any questions on the testing plan, reach out to me, please, and I'll do the best I can answer. If I can't, I'll reach out to the two who can. As far as the annual testing plan, it's entitled Clover Garden School 2026-2027 Annual Testing Plan. It is almost the same as last year. The emergency contingency plan was added this year, and that is if for any kind of reason we have to be shut down, the computers are shut down, it could be a tornado, power outage, anything like that. We've decided, and it was best practice based on what the state has told us, that we've decided that 30 minutes is a max. So if the computers are down, we can't move forward. For state testing, the students will press pause, hopefully. Like yesterday, the unexpected fire drill, one student was testing and she was able to press pause and they scooted out of the room and everything was fine. In that situation, we still do have to submit an irregularity. So we're sort of dinged on that, but it was out of our control. But anyway, so we did decide 30 minutes is our max. We discussed moving it, pushing it to an hour. However, we decided that some teachers, or all teachers for that matter, it would be very difficult because the students have to be quiet. They cannot talk. So we felt like 30 minutes was the max to have them sit there or stand outside and do nothing and be quiet. It's just too difficult. So that's what the contingency plan is for. When we do have a situation like that, I have to reach out to the RAC, that's the Regional Accountability Coordinator in Raleigh, to let them know, and they do their investigation, and sometimes the whole state shut down. And we didn't get into that last year. Thank goodness, because we test pretty much before anybody else tests. So we jumped ahead of that. Another item that's in there is the retesting for EOGs and EOCs. Wow, this is a whirlwind of a time for our school. We found that it's very beneficial for us to retest. We also found out this year that for students with IEPs, we can test them. So for the EOGs, their testing windows the last 10 days for a year long. That's right? Am I getting that mixed up? So we found out this year in training that for those students with IEPs, we can test them, begin testing them up to 10 days before that last 10-day of testing window. We can also test them 10 days after that last 10 days of testing window. Well, we don't want to do that. We also feel like that's kind of going to be helpful. You squeeze in 1,000 kids in the last 10 days, and here's the last 5 days. It's crazy. We get it done, but it's crazy. So that's why we added the retesting. It's going to be a definite thing. One other thing that is a little different. I don't know if I told y'all I think I did in our Zoom meeting last week. English 2, it takes the longest for us to get the scores back for English 2. This year, the state has not, it's going to be, and I don't know what the acronym stands for, but it's TOPS, TOPS. And that's the folks who sends us, they send our testing materials. Some of them we have to return if we don't securely destroy them on campus. But TOPS is going to be grading the English this year. So we hope, they're still telling us it's going to be 7 to 10 days to get those scores back, but we hope it might be a little bit different. We'll have to see there. But anyway, the bottom line for retesting, it is definitely beneficial for us and for our students. The last thing that we added annual testing plan is makeup testing. And we are not going to do makeup testing for check-ins. Check-ins are not required for the state anyway. It's something that we feel like is good for us to do to keep check and monitor our students. But makeup testing is going to be a part and has always been. And we did, I don't know that we got 100% last year in testing, tested 100% of our students. 95% is what we have to get and what we strive to get. It was 98 to 99. It was more than that. But since we're a small school, it's detrimental to us if 1 or 2 students is out from EOC, EOG testing. I think that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions? Nope. Thank you, Ms. Denton.
Thank you.
All righty. Moving on, Ms. Verakin, the beginning teacher support program.
The plan that I presented to you guys last month is still good. But we sent that over, that's our beginning teacher support plan. We sent that over to our regional rep and she hadn't responded when I presented last week. So she only had 2 pieces of feedback and it was some verbiage. So I put the document in there that she submitted to me. So one of them was the teachers with fewer than 3 years of experience. This is the part where I put regardless of licensure type and licensure pathway, are required to participate in the BT plan. So we did put that in there, but I'm not sure that she maybe saw that part, or maybe I didn't use this exact verbiage. So I will make sure that it is identical to the sentence. And then the other piece is just making sure that we do require signatures. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bullet point. Signatures of BTs, mentors, and principals are all required for each formative assessment. So each time you observe them, you have to have signatures. And so we use NESES, which is like an online portal for evaluations. And it's frustrating at times because you can't move on until you get the green check, but that's kind of why. So they do require that our BTs use that, but we end up using that for all of our staff, but it does require signatures. So those are the only two things.
Alrighty. And you need a vote to make those changes to our program?
Yeah, just maybe just an addendum to last, the approval from last month.
Do I have a motion to approve the updates and changes as presented? Ms. Gould, second. Ms. Dickerson, all in favor? Thank you. All righty. At this time, we would go into closed session according to General Statute 143-318.11, parentheses A, parentheses 1. Do I have a motion for closed session? Ms. Dickerson, Ms. Lane, all in favor? We'll enter closed session at 6:52 p.m.